Bosch is, hi, Michelle. Jojanneke is actually the one who spearheaded this conference, if you had not realized it, has put together with her team in Holland and along with myself and this international New York, US team, this conference. And she has done it because she saw a problem that wasn't being addressed. And she courageously stood up to the plate and said, I'm going to do something about it. So this is hopefully inspiration for everyone out there. Doesn't matter what your topic is. You can be inspired to also gather people from all over the world that you think have something to offer to a topic that you're passionate about and able to pull this off. It's the final hour. Perhaps we're saving the best for last, which I'm going to be really excited because it's been pretty damn good so far. So looking forward to this talk with Michelle. Jojanneke will introduce her now. Thank you and enjoy the rest of Beyond Envy 2016.
Thank you, Laurie. First and foremost, this is a very special session. This will be for me because not only that, it's because it is the last session of this Beyond Envy Conference 2016, which is the first time in the Netherlands that something has happened like this via Blab and on this topic. But also because I know that because I've had a conversation with the lovely Michelle Sparrenboom, who is sitting next to me now in this room online. We'll have some great valuable nuggets to share, and they're not just nuggets. We've had a conversation of an hour and a half, and we don't have an hour and a half today. But it has changed my life already, and I'm so honored and grateful and happy that she agreed to join me in this session. So let me introduce this wonderful lady to you. This is Michelle Sparrenboom. She is a Dutch wonderful woman, a life adventurer, a presenter, a speaker, a talk show host. I actually attended her talk show this week, and it was amazing. She had great, courageous guests and a great atmosphere, and she knew how to bond everyone like a charm. And she has a passion for connecting people and their stories to inspire and make things happen. And that's really what she does. So that's also why I invited her. Hello, Michelle.
Hi, thank you for having me. And great job, girl. I'm really proud of you. You did it.
Well, we're still doing it. We're not there yet.
No, you did a great job. I checked in a few times. You did amazing. I'm very proud of you. Very proud. So hands up, everybody, for Jojanneke.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Yeah, I'm going to give you some props for that. Yeah, if you just tap on a head, you can give some props.
I've been giving you props all day, and I it's my first time on Blab, so I'm.
It's for many people here in the room. It's the first time on Blab because there are so many people in Holland who hadn't known this platform.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I'm totally in love with it. And everybody says, well, I'm already on Periscope. Why should I Blab? Well, this is because why you should Blab.
It's nice. It's nice.
Yes,
really nice.
It's connecting and it's lovely. So we have chosen a bold and courageous and scary, lovely topic. Let's go. It's radical empathy. Now, empathy. Yeah. What is empathy? Is it something that has to do with compassion? Has it to do with something like feeling sorry for someone? Or is it about connecting? What is this? I wanted to explore that. I've read a lot about it. And I had this idea, which we are not doing today, but I had this idea of Michelle and myself, writing a short story from our own lives and exchanging those stories so that we both could read each other's stories so that we would feel the way it would feel if it were our own stories, and that you could be the audience and being a part of sharing that story and that experience. So we were talking about that, and we both we were Skyping about it or on the phone. And I said, Michelle, I'm a bit struggling about this story thing. And she said, yeah, I thought so, and me too. So okay, and it was also step one to say that, because it was my idea and I didn't deliver. So I thought, well, why is that? So Michelle bravely said, well, maybe we should just talk about it right now to see whatever we come up with, and we will make something great of it. And I think we are succeeding to do so, because we have discussed some things that happened in our lives from the past, but also with our wishes to the future. And we are both women who had to build a certain amount of resilience to use our courage to build our lives. And I think we're pretty successful in doing that and trying that and failing at it and picking up the pieces and going at it again.
Adventuring in it.
Adventure. Yeah, it is. And in order to...
I always think it sounds more, like you can fall down and get back up. And I thought, if I perceive to it as being an adventurer, at least it sounds a lot more sexy to myself.
It does. Well, failing can also be sexy. If you don't fail, you don't know how to bounce back.
You need to fail. You need to fail.
And you need to succeed. But those things can go quite well together, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we think, we think that there's a beautiful flip side to online negativity. And it's the opportunity to fulfill unmet needs. And that's something we have addressed at previous sessions today. So we want to focus on wishes that haven't been realized up till now. Now, we have read some amazing quotes, citations by amazing people who have changed and touched other people's lives to a great extent. And we chose 4 or maybe 5. Let's see how far we can go in this hour. We have chose some of these quotes to discuss them in terms of what do they mean to us in terms of empathy and in our lives.
It's a surprise to me, because we were talking about it and I said to you, just choose and we'll talk about it online, because in that way it's nice, because we can register everything and orchestrate everything. But it's really, I think there's a lot of value in that's also authentic, and empathy is just to see what comes up.
Yeah, true. That's also part of the process.
Yes.
So I send you this Facebook message with the quotes in it, and I thought, well, just see how it goes. So these quotes are related to empathy by 4 famous people, and I think it's good to explore whether or not we are living accordingly, and if those quotes resonate to our lives, and if there are still some learnings that we encounter every day or in our everyday life. Well, I'm not perfect. I hope you're not either.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. We had a great conversation about that too. So I think it's just a gem waiting to happen. So the core of what Michelle's learnings are, one of the most touching things she has told me was her core question that she has in every challenging situations, and that is, what can I contribute to you? Can you say something about that, Michelle?
Yeah, I've actually, I had the concept like vaguely as a theory. I knew it because I've done a lot of personal development, but I think it was maybe a few months ago, and there was a big change in my life. And then I realized that in a lot of situations, we expect something out of something. Mm-hmm. And if we don't get it, we're disappointed.
Yeah.
But we don't know if it's true. And there was a situation where I asked a question for help online. And I have a big network and a big community, and the people I've asked to as well had a big community as well. Mm-hmm. And no help came out of it. And that there didn't come any help out of it. And I thought, it did something to me. And I thought, nobody wants to help me, blah, blah, blah. And I give the whole conversation in my head started going.
The tape was rolling.
Yeah, the monkeys, the Muppet Show. The Muppet Show was going in my
Rudolph
head.
and Statler were at it.
Yeah, you know, the big guys going like.
Yeah, the gremlins. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was actually speaking to a friend of mine, and I told him this, and he said, "You're so wrong." And I went like, "What?" And he said, "Look, if you send out a question like that on social media, I heard you, but I didn't know what to do with it, and I went on. If you would have, but it's a wrong assumption that I don't care or I don't want to help you. But if you call me and say what you need,
I'll help you.
I will help you."
Yeah.
Lovingly.
Yeah.
And I thought, I need to stop this.
Yeah. Stop the
And
tape.
Yeah. And then I started thinking, instead of
wanting to receive.
Yes. Yeah, wanting to receive. That's nicely put. What can I contribute to every situation? Which best of me can I contribute to a situation? To my clients, to the people I work with, to my friends, to family, but even to a stranger. If there is a conflict or maybe getting something into a situation where you might misinterpret, I'm just gonna think, what best of me can I contribute to this situation?
And what it allows, yeah,
it just made a big shift, because only it gives me a lot of freedom, but it also takes me out of my ego.
Yeah,
and
that's the best place, out of the ego. Yeah, it's liberating, isn't it?
If I would have known this 10 years ago, I would have been lovely.
Yeah, but now you're here. And you discovered that, and you have incorporated and integrated that thought in your actions.
It allows me to contribute to a bigger whole. And this is what I've like, okay, if you got like give and take, but what I thought was, what of me can I contribute to what we are creating together?
Yes.
Even if it's a relationship, a friendship, an assignment, or
either way.
Even the other day when I had my talk show and there was a media and they wanted something from one of my guests, and I saw she was quite apprehensive about it. Instead of how do you say it, arguing with this guy about it, with the journalist, I said, okay, I understand what place you're coming from. What can we create together? Which makes us all happy.
Yeah.
And it was like the guy was just really relaxing down, and everybody was relaxing, and everybody started thinking,
was like poof, gone.
Yeah. And everybody started thinking, what can we all contribute to something that we're all happy about?
Yeah. It is powerful. So
major shift.
Yes,
major shift.
It's liberating.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much
so. I hear what you're saying. I've seen it in action. And I feel it myself from time to time, fortunately. So I have collected some statements, and I'd like to start with the first one, which is from Tony Robbins, who's all
I like Tony Robbins.
Yeah, we like Tony. Tony is the man. Yeah. Sorry, boss, and you're also the man. Yeah, but Tony is the man. Also the man. Only those who have learned the power of sincere and selfless contribution experience life's deepest joy through fulfillment.
Yes.
Let me state that again. Only those who have learned the power of sincere and selfless contribution experience life's deepest joy through fulfillment. It's exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I comprehend it now.
Yeah.
I knew it before, like in a theory.
Yeah.
I comprehend it now, and I understand now that if you come from a place of being of service to a bigger whole, to a bigger
you feel fulfilled and you feel joy and connected.
I understand now what maybe like it sounds I understand what people like a Mahatma Gandhi or a Mother Teresa, because they do that in major sense, and it's I never got it how you can be so of service, because my ego was killing me.
It was in the way, and you got over yourself, and it's so important to get rid of the ego. You can still perceive it, and it can be still a part of you, but you're not led by it. You need
to be really, really conscious of ego
and cautious about letting the ego take over, because it's not usually not the way to connection. It is a crossroads you can take. It's towards controlling and power, or connection and development. Which and sometimes in a positive power situation, those things can connect to positive outcomes, but usually it's a crossroads. And the second statement was from
Can I just say?
Yes, you can. We're here now.
I feel so much more connected to somebody or to some people that I practice this in the situation. There comes love from it, and I get so much out of it, much more than I would expect from you. And to get it, there's much more fulfillment and joy out of it.
Yeah, and also I remember from one of our previous sessions today that several people said, I have such a huge problem or issue with asking for help. And that's one of the keys of the solution. Because if you're connected and you're open and you are not in your ego, you can just say, I don't know how this works. Can you help me? Or I really want to.
Who has an idea?
Yeah, who has an idea? Just bring it on.
Even if people, when you start your business and you don't really know yet what you're going to do, and you're still figuring it out and experimenting, and people say, are you really sure what you're going to do? And then I learned from another lady. She said, no, I just asked the question. No, do you? Have you got an idea?
Yeah, I was just asking a question. Yeah,
I love that one. If people say, like, you can have the voices from outside challenging you.
Yes, and also the inside voice.
Yes.
Without being creepy, but everyone has those like negative tapes going on vulnerable times, and it's perfectly human. But it's also in our positive power to let go of that control, and also to let go of those fears, and to stop the tape, because you think, okay, you know what, I'm just not going to listen anymore, because I want to free myself, I want to release myself, and be open to anything that could cross my path in a positive way.
I find it very difficult when people say you have to let go, because I think it's one of the most stressful things most difficult things.
Just let go. There's no such thing. There is let go, but not just let go.
Now, I've learned something different that really helped me, because I always find solutions for those theory that doesn't work on me.
Yeah.
I go and find a different solution.
Bring it on, dear.
Allow.
Yeah.
So I allow that I'm uncomfortable, that I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I allow that feeling, and then I allow myself to go out and find out more, and I allow that I am uncomfortable, and I allow that I will learn.
Yes.
And I allow
time. Yeah.
I allow other people to help me get to that quicker.
Yeah.
Because I'm quite lazy, I tell you. I'm very lazy. And I learned something really good from it. That if you ask help, you get that quicker.
Even quicker than you already wanted.
So it's really
lovely.
nice.
That's such a gem. Yeah. Isn't she lovely, Michelle? Isn't she? Give her a prop. She's great. She is great. Yeah, I love this. So The second statement we'll be sharing is from a woman. I have no idea how to pronounce her name. So if you have any suggestions, please share. But I'm going to give it my best shot. Pima Kudren. Pima Kudren. Pima Kudren. I have no idea how to pronounce the name. But it's okay. She's the author of When Things Fall Apart. Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And she says, when we practice generating compassion, we can expect to experience our fear of pain. Compassion practice is daring. It involves learning to relax and allow ourselves to move gently towards what scares us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that again, just to let it stick. When we practice generating compassion, we can expect to experience our fear of pain. Compassion practice is daring. It involves learning to relax and allow ourselves to move gently towards what scares us.
Yeah.
I think that's so powerful.
Yeah.
I think it's powerful because I know it takes a lot of courage to go out of your safety zone, of your own feelings of comfort. If you are really taking the effort to imagine what somebody else is going through, then you might run into some of your own fears and some pain, because maybe his or her situation resonates to a situation that you have been in before, or that you consider to be uncomfortable. But so that is daring, because you might end up getting some sort of pain or getting hurt. So it involves learning to relax, because you're not taking that problem into yourself, but you're generating compassion for what happens to the other person. So if you're not anxious about getting hurt or feeling pain, but just letting it happen, then you have more space to explore what is moving the other person, so that you can stand beside each other instead of saying, I feel so sorry for you. That's bad. That's horrible.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
You feel even worse.
Okay, now I feel really small and tiny. So it's really powerful to have the guts, not only to experience pain if you're in a vulnerable situation, but also for the other person to just to explore what you're feeling. That's so it's usually when people, and I had that problem myself years ago, when I was left without my parents when they passed away when I was 14 years old. It was really hard for other people to imagine what I was going through. So I felt alone, lonely even more, and people around me just felt lost because they didn't know how to deal with it. And they most of them just went by me because it was a bit scary to look a child in the eyes who had lost his parents. So but what I needed was exactly what Pima Kodron, whatever her name is, but bless her, says. I needed people to relax and allow themselves to move gently towards this awkward topic. And that's exactly what we're doing today in another topic, which is envy and taboo and those kind of things. And everyone has been brilliant today doing this. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was really beautiful to see.
And it's I fiercely believe that if we can do this about online envy, this topic, we can also do it about any other topic that we feel awkward about and that we can
I think a lot of people are because they're afraid of reactions of either their own or other person's reactions. What I've learned is if you cannot fully experience joy, love, and the full depth of all things if you're not allowed to accept the
package
of pain or
the whole
fear.
package, the deal.
You need to be able to hold yourself in between, and it takes time, and I did everything between heaven and earth, and I tried everything to cope with things. And I also, I lost a lot of people and had the discomfort. And I lost my sister when I was 29 or 30, just 30.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine recently was in a similar situation.
Yeah.
And for me, it was 11 years later. And I could watch it, I could be there for him
because
without going. Yeah. And it was like looking at my situation back then. And also thinking, okay, what did I need? What did I need at the time? And I realized I didn't need anyone to go, and how are you? How are you? Because I was just surviving.
And that's a lot if you can handle that at the time anyway.
Yeah. Because
that's a lot already.
I've learned that your biggest strength arise in times when you lose all of it.
Yeah.
And it's a chance to get the best out of you. Yeah. Honestly, you get to deep depths of yourself that you wouldn't know they were there. Excellent. So actually, if you're there in relationship to other people, even if you're there, you say, I have no idea what to say to you.
That's better than saying nothing.
But I'm here. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here. Do you want coffee? I always say coffee solves everything. Do you want coffee?
Or chocolate?
I'm just gonna sit. Yeah, I'm not a chocolate lover, so Patty will say it'll solve everything.
Yeah. Well, it basically does. But
honestly,
it's the reaching out, the normal things, the little things, and it's basically also, and I believe that to be one of the biggest truths of my life today is what really is important to me is that I learned to be the person that I needed most when I was young.
Yes.
And I won't do anything less. I won't look the other way.
No, and honestly, I would say it's like, when you hurt yourself, you bang yourself. I usually will walk into anything, I'm quite clumsy.
Glass doors.
But the pain, it'll go away if you just keep breathing through it, Yeah. It's like it'll leave you in a few seconds, or it'll leave you in a few minutes, but just keep breathing through it. It's the same with discomfort. It's the same.
Just lean in.
Lean in. It'll go away, but don't put too much meaning to it, because it's just a moment and it's just a feeling, and it will fade away. Yeah, I've learned this when I was doing, and people didn't believe I was doing it, but I went into a 10-day.
I believe you.
Vipassana meditation.
I didn't know what it was, but I believe you.
I had to be silent for 10 days and just meditate for 11 days. And it was in one of the most difficult times of my life. So not only the Muppets were there, the Gremlins were joining them. Like, I don't know, every devil in the world was joining the party up there. And I was in so much pain and so much discomfort. And because I had no distractions. I had to go through it. Mm-hmm. And the only thing they were saying the whole time was, breathe through it. It'll come and it goes. It comes and it goes. And I thought, hell no, I want to go home. I was fighting it. I was fighting it. Yeah. But as soon as I started breathing, and then after 5 days, I was in agony for 5 days. But at day 6, it clicked. And I understood it. You will get better at it, but just keep breathing through it. And then you will. So if you see something online and you get hurt by it, breathe first.
Yeah. And
keep breathing. Don't react.
No, at least not for 90 seconds. also biologically, there is something in your amygdala, in your brain, that what?
Yeah, don't react.
Don't react instantly, because biologically we tend to have this reaction: fight, flight, or freeze, and it takes 90 seconds approximately. So if somebody is throwing abuse at you and you just type away, I don't. It's always from that source, and your amygdala is to blame. So just wait it out.
Yeah, keep breathing.
Keep breathing, and just click on the tiny cross in the corner, and just wait. Take a walk, go back, and just rethink whatever you were doing or thinking.
But that's also that's what we were talking on Tuesday when we were speaking. Practicing empathy is actually not that difficult when you're feeling good.
No, it's hard when you are struggling.
Honestly,
it's easy to say it now.
When it comes the moment that you're being challenged and you get, it gets to you, that's when you need to practice radical empathy.
And
that is where you need to get good at it. It's not as you can say like, oh, we'll practice radical empathy, and
be the gurus.
It sounds really sexy, like when you're doing it. But honestly, practice it still.
It can be ugly.
Walk your talk still when you get hurt, or it's something hits you, or
Indeed.
being attacked verbally or something.
Yeah, I've also have an example for that, and it also built a bridge to the third statement. The third quote I'd like to share with you, which is from Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love. She has a really short quote, and it's this: "Grace will take you places hustling can't." Yeah, I think that's really powerful, and we have shared it today earlier in another session, and I said we will go back to that again, and here we are.
Okay,
so I was thinking about this, and also what we were talking just a few minutes ago, and I have this example of my own gremlins creeping up the back door, and they have tormented me for 2 days last week. And it caused me to wait for days before replying to an email. Yes. For Pete's sake. Really? you have survived living through without so you have survived living and growing up without your parents, and then you're scared of an email. I mean, what are the odds, and what is the comparison? Well, what happened was that I got an email from someone who meant really well, and who replied to an email I posted. It was a lengthy email, and it has a lot of information about a certain event that I was organizing. And I was trying to inform everyone as best as I possibly could. And I was trying my best, and all the links were in there, and I was giving people all those kinds of options. And well, long story short, I got a really short email back. What is the call to action? Hey, come on. And I thought, oh God, I suck. Nobody likes me. Oh my God, it's so horrible. And why can't they be nice to me? I've been trying so hard to do it right. The gremlins were tormenting me. Yeah. And I was feeling so insecure. And I thought, who am I to organize this event about this topic? And maybe I will just suck. And oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. I hope it's Saturday really soon. Really? Yeah. The whole tape was just going on and on. And I had a bad night's sleep. And after 2 days, I called you. And I said, oh, Michelle, what are we going to do about this? And we had a talk about what we're going to talk about today. And I was sharing this issue I was struggling with. And she said, well, that's a brilliant example, because that's like this gremlin creeping up.
Yeah, that's exactly where do you place radical empathy to you?
Yeah. Indeed. And so it has nothing to do with envy or with jealousy, but it had to do with my own insecurities.
Yes.
And so you rightfully said, well, this is a good example because you have to learn to be more empathetic towards yourself, and you have to practice a way to show what love would do in this particular situation. And you were right. So that's what I did, and everything
which
went
is
well.
not easy.
It
which
was
is
not easy.
easy.
No,
Let me
it's
say
simple,
that.
but it's not easy. That's also what I said on the landing page of the Beyond Envy conference landing page before we had our website. I said, getting beyond envy and getting over yourself. It's simple, but not easy. And that's exactly the whole thing. It's not easy, but you can do it. And if you do it and you find your way back to connecting to one another and to connecting through all those gremlins to someone who you feel insecure about, then it fades away and the gremlins die.
That's why you say, look, grace will get you places where hustle won't. And hustling will get you. Yeah, and it's not easy to practice great. We all want happiness, but we just want it, to go to the grocery store and get it.
Yeah, it's not like a package of butter or something. You just can go and get it. And it's not.
It's a practice, and you get better at it and better at it, and you fall down and you get hurt and you get back up and you try again and you try and you keep on trying.
Resilience and love.
You keep on trying, and every time you say, my mom, she said it at one point. She said, "What would love do?" And it's not only love to the other one. Foremost, it's love. What would love to yourself do? And it's that's what I say, because look, what you do is you stretch yourself far your limits for what you were doing. You really organize something really big, and that's really vulnerable. It's really cool, but it's also really vulnerable
and scary.
And absolutely,
but we do it anyway.
And then you go, and then somebody will come and just bang, and you say, you see, blah, 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 blah. But it's just, I always say, that's your exam.
Yes. To the next level.
They will test you.
Yeah.
Somebody always will come and test you.
And that's the present of life. There's a presence. And that takes me to the fourth quote. And it's one of Marianne Williamson. She says, "Until we have met the monsters in ourselves, we keep trying to slay them in the outer world, and we find that we cannot. For all darkness in the world stems from darkness in the heart, and it is there that we must do our work."
Yes.
Yeah, I cannot add anything to that because it's just true.
I can say honestly, it's been but it's the same with you and my life. We've come from a very, very, very dark place.
Yes.
Because we lost a lot, both of us, and we had to really go to that deepest part of ourselves.
Yes.
And somebody asked me, the journalist during my talk show, he asked me, he said, "What's your story?" And I said, well, maybe I lost everything.
Yeah.
Honestly, there was little I had left. And I never felt so rich in my life, because it took away all the shit of me. And I had to
all the unnecessary things.
I had to go through all the pain, and I had to look myself in the eye. And I really had to look myself in the eye and say, is this still true? Is this true what you believe in yourself?
That's
is
great.
This true?
That's great.
I had to come to a sense that I'm in a place right now that I'm thinking, wow,
I'm comfortable.
I'm very happy that something gave me those challenges. They hurt really, really bad. Honestly, I felt just as lonely as you. Well, I don't know how lonely you felt, but I felt really, really lonely. Oh, gosh. And I felt heartbroken, and I felt miserable, and I felt not good enough, and I felt it all. But
now,
looking it into the eyes and taking it on and working through it. Every time I got a lesson like that, I started working through it because I knew it wasn't me. It was just something that I was feeling, and I knew there was something beyond.
Yeah.
But
the exploration starts there.
Yeah, beyond envy, beyond
anything.
fear, beyond shame, guilt.
Yes. Yeah.
I had to go beyond, but in order to go beyond, I had to go through it.
Yeah, and that's resilient. And also, so
and that's a beautiful place behind there.
It's where all the gems are. So if you've gone treasure hunting, go there. Go through it. So
you will be okay. That is what I will say.
It will be okay if you take on the challenge.
You will be okay.
Yes.
Honestly, people don't give themselves enough credit.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't.
I feel empathy for that. I feel empathy for that because I was once years ago also in that place that I had to discover that there was so much behind the struggle and not just overcoming it, but that was where life started.
That's what exactly.
It's not about surviving, it's about living for peace.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, I'll tell you honestly, if we're talking about radical empathy and vulnerability, I turned 40 last year and I grew up with a sister with a handicap.
Yeah.
And last year I figured, oh, okay, so I've dealt with all the crises. I came to a point that I realized that I was mastering the art of surviving.
Beyond surviving.
I was just sitting there at one point thinking, and I asked somebody, I said, so what do people do when they're not coping with crisis? And it goes like, they're living. I said,
yeah, they're living.
How do you do that?
How do you do that? I had to learn.
Honestly, I had to learn.
But you succeed. Yeah.
I went to a psychologist. I went there. She said, what can I help you with? I said, life.
Yeah.
And I said, I did a lot of things, but it didn't come natural because I had to overcome so much from a little age that to just, if that's not there, and like Patty was talking about minimalism, hey, I got rid of all that. I got rid of all it. But when there's a lot of space left, how do you fit, how do you build yourself up from there?
Yeah, it's also a brilliant and loving discovery about what life can really be for you. And it's wonderful. Now, the fifth statement I'd like to share, I have an echo on the line, so I hope that it'll pass quite soon. Oh, everyone hears the echo? Everyone hears the echo. Oh, it's gone? It's gone. Okay. No, it's not gone. Okay. Maybe I'll just check in again. I'm going to reboot because there's another statement I'd like to share. I'll be right back.
You want me to sing a song in the meantime?
Excuse me?
Do you want me to sing a song in the meantime?
Oh, yeah. just get me into the thing in a moment. Okay, Frank Clark and Laurie, please support.
No problem. This is gonna be okay.
Moment.
Are there people with any questions? I was gonna say.
Hi,
Laurie. Hiya. You're doing a great job,
much.
Laurie.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for sharing your story. And
I
think there's a lot of people who are struggling.
Oh, Jojanneke is asking me, let me in. Oh, here she goes.
Yeah,
knock,
it's
knock.
not locked. It's not locked. Did she not come in?
Knock, 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 knock.
There you go. You are welcome.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you, Laurie. Okay, there we are again.
Bye, Laurie. Thank you.
Thank you for supporting. I had an echo on the line, so I wanted to reboot. This is better. So the fifth statement, it is, I think it's lovely. It's about a person you have talked about last Tuesday when we were on the phone, and it was Les Brown. And I love,
I love him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's so funny.
He is funny, and also he's really straightforward and shares things from the heart. And I think this one is really empowering, and for anyone, whether you have been through hardship or not, if you are here in this room now, and if you have been through hardship or just want to be motivated to get beyond your own gremlins and find whatever sources you need to fulfill your own ambitions. It's this: the things you want are always possible. It's just that the way to get to them is not always apparent. The only real obstacle in your path to a fulfilling life is you. And that can be a considerable obstacle because you carry the baggage of insecurities and past experience. I think it's lovely. Lovely.
Can I share a story on that one?
Yeah.
Because with the
did everybody get this one?
Yeah.
Maybe I can repeat it once more so that anyone can just grab into, because it was kind of a long quote. The things you want are always possible. It's just that the way to them, to get to them, is not always apparent. The only real obstacle on your path to fulfilling life is you. And that can be a considerable obstacle because you carry the baggage of insecurities and past experience. Now, fire away.
Yeah, I was operated on last October. And so I wasn't a major, but I gave myself time to really recuperate from it.
And heal. Yeah.
And I was sitting down, and then I was just really contemplating on life. It wasn't anything big but there was a point, because that was such a switch in my life, that operation, that I sat down at one point, and what I do if I need answers, people, you get in your head and people start looking for answers. I've learned that you need to, shut up, sit down and listen.
And listen.
Yeah, it'll come. The answer will come, but you need to go to silence. And I sat down and I thought, I'm going to do all Zen, said, okay, so if you have a mission with me in this life, if you have a purpose with me in this life, and you want me to do this, what is needed in order for me to do this in this life? And I sat down and I thought, here's going to come. And I just got the answer: get out of your own way.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, and it's true, because it's just me comparing myself to others, or me, and I know what I'm capable of. I've seen it. I feel it, I know I am here. And still I get sometimes, if I'm not taking care of myself, that's usually when I get challenged. Yeah. When I get tired, when I get stressed, when I get overwhelmed, that's when the doubt comes in. And that's when I cannot flow.
Yes.
So I need to get out of my own way and start taking care of myself.
I think that's just a lovely thing. It's about getting over yourself, getting out of your own way, and exploring the way towards whatever you can achieve.
Yeah. And also what you say, that what I've realized, and I've had to rediscover my whole life and my whole identity. What I figured is, the only thing is the step you take, but you cannot know the whole road.
No,
and let me tell you,
exploring then.
You can sit for hours, days, months, and years, and you will not figure out the whole way. You just need to go step by step by step, because you can only see what you see, but there's a whole world of possibilities out there that will be shown as soon as you start taking steps. But you cannot see the whole way, and you have to take the steps.
Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for this. I think this has been a wonderful conversation. We have only 7 minutes left. Yes. I am really happy and grateful that you wanted to share your own life challenges and insights with me, and I was more than happy to share them with you, because I know there are grateful ears, and my ears are grateful for yours as well.
Thank you.
Yes, I think it's a great connection that we have had in the last couple of weeks, building up towards this, and thank you so much. And I feel really connected to you in this way. So thank you very much. Now, if you want to reach Michelle Sparreboom, then you can find her on Twitter and on Facebook and on Instagram. So we can share the URLs online. She usually speaks in Dutch, but as you have noticed,
Instagram, I try to go in English again.
There you go.
And I'm building up a website that goes to English. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And she really is a life adventurer, and I can recommend her and her endeavors a great deal. Now, me, myself, and I'm Jojanneke, at Jojanneke on Twitter. And in my new book, and in the last hour, I revealed the title of my new book, which will be Live Your Talks. And on liveyourtalks.com, you can register for updates on the upcoming book about public speaking and the difference between corporate speaking and TEDx talks, because I have performed on TEDx and it was quite challenging. I'll share everything about that and also about how anyone can improve their own performance skills. You can always also invite me for a book presentation where you live, because I am planning to go on a book tour in Ireland and hopefully the US. So please invite me to speak at your conference or in your business or at your venue that you think, I want to know what the difference is between speaking at a conference and speaking at TEDx. And I'll be more than happy to share whatever I can with you. Yes, well, this has been a thrill ride today.
I'm just going to applaud for you and the whole team.
Thank you.
You guys did a great job.
Yeah, that was 7 hours of live streaming for
great.
Thank you. Well, for the wonderful Laurie Webb, who's also here in this room now, this is peanuts, because she has done live streaming for 168 hours in a row. Yeah, that's like eating iron. It's unbelievable. So I am so incredibly grateful for anyone who has been here in this room, attending the talks, joining in our conversations, asking questions, sharing their knowledge, helping us with tech, helping us with the whole production, and the wonderful people here in this room here in my office. And in particular, I'd like to thank, of course, Laurie Webb and Jonathan Tripp and Frank Clark and Zeb Sam, Caroline Verhees, Alex Keizer, and all the speakers who have generously and wholeheartedly shared their insights. This was the first time from the Netherlands that a conference via Blab was organized, and also about this topic of getting over yourself and getting beyond envy in order to discover what kind of opportunities there are there for you. And we really hope that we have given you some tools and practical insights about how you can reach those goals. Really practical in terms of finding a way to write and publish your book, about presenting in a more engaging way, with more effect, and all these other topics that were covered today. Now, if you want to have a recap, you can always check into www.beyondenvyconference.com, and you can see also the replays once they're ready, and also all the call to actions and super valuable free downloads from all the speakers will be made available at beyondenvyconference.com. I am so incredibly proud of what we've done today, and I'm so grateful for everyone who stuck it out until the last minutes. We have 2 minutes left, and I'm going to use them because I'm verbal, and I can't help myself. So people are going to drag me away here, and well, that's basically how it goes. If you're interested in watching my TEDx talk, I would be more than honored if you would take the time. It's only 16 minutes and 21 seconds. And it is about some amazing people who have... God, I'm breaking up.
Yeah!
Yeah, stay in there.
Come on, girl. You did great.
Come on, you. 2 minutes. 2
Yeah.
minutes. You can do
Now,
it.
me with my big mouth.
Well, hey, remember, You just got to breathe and
Yeah.
you got to
Yeah.
work
Keep
through
That's
it.
what
breathing.
we
Right? We just
Yeah,
heard about it.
so some
There's
amazing people.
no
No
gremlins.
gremlins. No, they're not here at all. There are no gremlins here.
You did great.
I'm just really tired from speaking 7 hours.
Not
I'm
only
getting my
7
heart all open. Yeah,
and the
it's been
chainsaws.
wonderful. It's been a challenge and it's been wonderful. And I'd like to invite anyone who has the opportunity to watch for 16 minutes and 21 more seconds for my yapping. But it's valuable yapping because it's my TEDx talk and I've worked for 9 months to do it properly. And I think I succeeded. It's about how I grew up after my parents had died and what wonderful, amazing people have made all the difference in my life. And they have set an example that you can take and they can do, and they have really practical advice. And I'm sharing that in my TEDx talk. And I invite everyone to listen to that and take these advice points and integrate them in their lives and share them with other people. Because it's basically one of the core points of my life. And if my life has any kind of value, I hope that's that. So, so yes. So Lori just checks out. No, she's probably off watching the TEDx now.
She's gonna get the tips.
Oh my God, she is pitching her TEDx talk. Yeah, she is. And I'm going to share the link right here. There it is. Watch it. There you are. So if you want to know something more about how excruciatingly scary it is to perform a TEDx, go to liveyourtalks.com and register for updates. My name is Jojanneke van den Bosch. I am the owner of Online Com Academy. On April 1st, my company will exist. It has its 10-year anniversary. And that's also the release date of my new book. It has been an honor and privilege to host this event. It has been heaps of fun, and I'm doing this on sheer adrenaline and heaps of love. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that to connect with you soon, and that Blab will finally find its rightful place in the Netherlands and everywhere in the world. So bless you all, and thank you so much. We are going to end the session now. Thank you.
Okay, actually, people were asking if we were going to keep running, and I didn't want to interrupt you while you were doing your end. But I know that you have some plans, and the question is, if people are in the room and they wanted to talk, I would suggest, for the sake of getting the replay, we've stopped the record. We should have stopped the recording.